Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey.
She's also jumping the gun, and I'm Carol.
And we are by
Outlander
Purgatory.
.com.
It has been a long week, you
Okay,
guys.
so let's just move that week along.
Oh my God. Carol, what do you. Carol. Oh my God. It's so
All right,
dark. I don't even know what to think.
it's like Madeira. You know what cracks me up? Hi, everyone's here. It's a fun time. Okay, so you know what cracks me up?
What?
I used to drink this PK, pre-kids,
Mm-hmm.
and check it out. It's nothing special, but little Rosemount Shiraz.
Oh,
And look
interesting.
at the price tag is half the price of Santa Margarita.
Nice. See, now I thought what you were going to say that cracked you up was
Andy Dufresne.
Andy
Is that
Dufresne
joke getting old yet? Oh,
appreciated
I think so.
a fine wine before he crawled through miles of filth and stink.
So I am also drinking a red. This red is I don't even know. It's called Spellbound. It is a petite syrah, and I bought it the other night when I needed some wine for a friend of mine to put in a water bottle and pretend we weren't drinking wine because we were at an event and we weren't supposed to be drinking because it was like on the street and about
Oh, yeah, I gotta bring the flask.
yeah. All right, we have a ton to get through tonight. Like I said, I feel like this week has, and this week is like not, it's like half over. But I've had a day. All right, well, let me just say right off the top that this episode is going to be very topsy-turvy. Up is down, down is up and sideways is upside down today. Because the past week for me has been so nuts. I had jury duty today. First of all, I'm back to working 60 hours a week. I have a deadline for work tomorrow. And I'm in a play that opens a week from this weekend. So when I'm not thinking about Outlander or working or memorizing lines or trying to plan this event that was last weekend, or, well, once in a while I sleep, but that's it. So anyway, I had jury duty today. I didn't get a chance to do a rewatch of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, our lovely Carol will be leading the discussion this evening.
Be afraid.
And you know how I am. I'm very anal about watching and taking notes and going in chronological order. I'm like I'm taking a step away from my comfort zone tonight.
I think you're going to be pleased
Okay.
with me.
Okay. And I did start rewatching while we were waiting a little bit, so I have a couple of notes. But what we want to do first is we want to circle back to last week to our reunion episode. First of all, the comments have been amazing. You guys are saying such great things. And again, this was an episode that was fraught with controversy. And everybody is respectful. Everybody's respectful of everybody else's opinions. It's a beautiful thing to see, really. And I've been enjoying the comments. I will say probably it's split about 60-40, 65-35, along the, like, we agree with you, and we didn't really like the Willy stuff, and we wanted the falling to pieces, and, although I think that the more people watch and kind of let it breathe, there's some, there's some reconsideration about the whole thing. So let's kind of talk through, like, a week later. What are you thinking about it all?
A week later, it comes down to the diehard book fans but I met with a friend of mine, Teresa, today, who I always tell you guys about, who only watches the shows. And she is a big visual person. She watches a lot of, like, foreign films that she gets at the library with subtitles. Like, that is how, like, she is passionate about her movies and television series. So I don't want you to think she's just like, oh, she doesn't read. She just prefers the visual form. Her first words out of her mouth, and P.S. she's going to watch this because she watches us. Mm-hmm. So she will see this. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
The first thing she said was, it was done so well. She was like, there is no way after 20 years they would go running into each other's arms.
Oh,
she goes,
I agree with that.
She goes, there would be apprehension. There would be vulnerability. They wouldn't know, quite how to act, what to do. So she was that was the first thing before I even said anything. She was thrilled that they were realistic with the, do I, don't I, does she want me here? Does he want me here? What should I stay? Should I go? All that kind of stuff.
And I would say we had agreed with that, right? I thought they pulled that off really, really well.
Pulled it off very, very well. When I told her about the brouhaha,
oh my God! There is ladies and gentlemen, meet your hashtag for the next couple of days. Brouhaha.
That literally just rolled off my tongue.
Has that not been a hashtag? Because it's gonna be.
I don't know. That just came off my tongue as I was saying brouhaha. I was going to say brouhaha about Brie, and I went brouhaha. So the brouhaha, she totally disagreed with because she has not read the books, and she said he's not emotionally connected because it's been 20 years. He didn't raise Brie. He's never met Brie. So, and he hasn't seen Claire in 20 years. So to him, it's almost like he's reading a book or watching a film he hasn't seen in years. Like, what? So to him, this is her take, is that Brie, while he is interested and thrilled about Brie, he's just not emotionally connected to Brie and barely to Claire at this point, reconnected. So that's why it's kind of easier for him to, oh, cool, ew, the bikini, oh, cool. Oh, by the way, she also said she thought that this is the perfect time for him to fess up about Willie. She was like, this is because she thinks like this is a perfect open door because they're talking about his daughter and who he's not as emotionally connected to. So automatically he's going to say, Claire, I have a son, like, because this is the topic. Mm-hmm. Our children is the topic. So she thought that was perfect. And last but not least, when I told her about he didn't break down with the pictures, that's why she thought he didn't break down, because he's not emotionally attached yet. And she thought after the culmination of their physical relationship, mm-hmm. That is when she thought afterward, in bed, vulnerable, that's when he should have had the breakdown.
Well, it's very interesting that Teresa has that to say. Let's put a pin in that for a minute. We'll come back to that. So I don't know if you've heard, speaking of the brouhaha, hashtag brouhaha. So Sam weighed in on this little brouhaha.
I did not hear this. You said something in it. Fill me in. I did not know.
Okay. So evidently, Matt Roberts, the screenwriter for this particular episode, posted something, or the Outlander writer's room posted that page from the script. Mm-hmm. And on that page of the script, there is like a stage direction. I don't know what they call them in film, but in a play, it would be a stage direction that Jamie falls onto Claire's shoulder and sobs or goes to pieces. Like, it's in the script.
I
fall
to pieces. Each time I see you again.
Well, this Patsy Cline break has been brought to you by Brouhaha. Okay. So the Outlander writers Twitter posted this page, and that was in the script. So I guess someone asked
Waiting
Sam
for it.
about that. About, like, hey, it was in the script, but it didn't happen. What's up with that? And Sam replies, oh, yeah. what the Outlander writers said was, it's our intention that all action lines, I guess that's what it's called, are filmed. We're disappointed this one wasn't. We'll talk more about it on podcast. So I think when Ron's podcast comes out, it's going to be a good one. So then somebody asked Sam about it, and Sam said the following. I use action lines as guide only. Falling apart doesn't have to mean tears. Can be internal. Was my creative choice. Plus, felt melodramatic. Then he went on to explain a little more. Jamie, hasn't met Bree. Has had a relationship with Willie. Plus, wonder at situation, new tech. I guess like the photographs. Never seen Bree, etc. Way was written, felt stalled scene. So, this tells you several things. First of all, it tells you that if Sam Ewan has this much pull over what happens on this show, bro, get yourself a producer's credit, because you're like, you're not getting your full earnings here. Would you agree with that? Like, that's
I would
a serious
agree more with
call.
Get yourself another copy of the book and read it again.
So once I read that, I mean, I really started trying to see it from his perspective as an actor. I gotta tell you, I know, you're gonna like roll your eyes like,
I am
massively.
sorry, but no.
Here's the thing. Now, I'm not a film actor. I perform on the stage. But as an actor, my sorry. My understanding is always that my job is to bring to life the vision of the director and the playwright. So, trust me when I say, I have had a crap ton of direction that's like, yeah, I think you should be, this is what I want. And I'm like, really? Because, I'm not seeing it that way. But it's my job as an actor to make that happen. Now, I can talk to the director, I can say, I'm confused, I don't understand, what if I try it this way? But at the end of the day, if the director says, this is how I want it, that's how you have to play it. And you just have to figure out in your head, have to figure out in your head how to do it. And it's not always easy, but you do. So I think that we kind of need to be connecting the dots a little bit. Somebody needs to connect the dots for us with this. It sounds to me like Sam, I can't imagine that Sam has the pull, sorry, but I can't imagine that he has the wherewithal to be like, I'm not doing it that way, Ron. I'm doing it my way. And everybody else, Matt Roberts and, whoever the director was, would be like, okay, you however you want. No, I mean, it was clearly a collaborative, decision, even if Sam won out in the end.
You know what I need to hear? I need to hear Ron Moore. I need to hear the director. I need to hear Norma Bailey and Ron Moore say, and you know what? Not Ron Moore, because he's not involved in every second of this production, is he? I mean, is he on set constantly going, do this? No, the director is. And I need to hear them say why they couldn't have him go to pieces. Because let me tell you something. Yes, it's true. 'Tis true. He does not have an emotional relationship with Bree, and he does with Willie. I get that. I understand that. So you know what? I will give you you can talk about Willie now, okay? But not you don't go to pieces. Because I'll tell you why. It's about Claire right now. It's about Bree right now. It's about your family with Claire right now. It's about the fact that Claire left to raise your bairn like you wanted her to because you were supposed to die in Culloden. It is not about Willie. It is not about, certainly not one-upping. Not that I think he was one-upping, I don't. But it should be about nothing but Claire and Bree in this scene. And you completely, when I say you, I don't know if I'm talking to Sam or Norma or Ron or whomever. And I say this with all due respect. Obviously, everybody knows I love you all because you're all, this is one scene that ticked me off. Big deal. Out of many that made me jump up and down and squee with delight. So the bottom line here is this was such an important scene, and it was supposed to be about Claire and Bree, and the Willie stuff took away from that, coupled with him not going to pieces and not really seeming all that upset to have been away from her and not to have raised his daughter, which we'll get into the fact that in this episode, they then sort of cover that later, or they get back into that later. So there's a lot of emotion brewing. You see it, and he's just playing it cool after 20 years. Again, I get it, but I'm sorry. There's one thing that we're not thinking about in this conversation, and that's Diana Gabaldon.
I was just going to say, when you're rattling off all the names, I was like, and my guess is that she's probably, I don't know.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Let me tell you something about my girl, Diana. Not only doesn't Diana care, Diana will be online with a diatribe this long tomorrow, if she hasn't already, explaining why it's fine that they did that and going into detail about the characters and why this and why that, which will all be like this. Oh my God, Diana wrote this, because her diatribes to me is like new material from Diana. But you know what I mean? She will defend it, and that's fine, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I have the right to be upset that it didn't happen. And I've said a million times, there's been things over the years, over the series that I've been like, oh, I wish this happened, but it's cool, I get it. But this is one time when I don't like it. I didn't like it, and I don't think you should have strayed.
That we thought that Sam and Kat were both amazing in this episode, and
I've said it a million
real.
Times.
Right. So I've tried to kind of synthesize all these different opinions and whatnot. I think to your point, I think it was a double whammy that really, really was in large part the problem. The fact that not only did he kind of act a little blasé about the Bree stuff, but then he decided to talk about Willie instead. It was kind of like, kicking a dog when it's down, kind of a deal.
Right.
I'm going to say that I get the argument that, okay, I get the argument that he's whatever he said, that he's completely completely flabbergasted at everything. And he was living he didn't know Claire was coming. She knew she was going to see him. He didn't know he was going to see her.
Right. Like that. True. I said the same thing.
He has no idea, what the hell these photographs, what is this? Just all of it, the shock of it.
Right.
Haven't you ever gotten news that is so shocking, so such big news? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But and I actually am like that. I'm not a very oh my God. I'll get big news, and I'll just be okay, all right, where am I gonna go with this? I don't tend to fall to pieces and fall into somebody's shoulders. So I'm gonna give Sam that, and I could even see where maybe the falling to pieces. Somebody made a really good point in the comments on some piece of social media that he already fell to pieces once with Jenny after the thing happened with Fergus. Did we remember Fergus?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. And again, you could see in his eyes. You could see, as he's swallowing, his throat's going up and down. So he's having these, kind of reactions that you have to look closely for. And I can rationalize that in my head. And again, I'm thinking in that actor mode. I can rationalize this if you tell me, you are too stunned to do a damn thing. What I blame is a strong word. What I regret is that...
What do you regret? You didn't do anything wrong.
No, I regret that in this episode, they didn't come back to it. They didn't, because what I don't buy is that Jamie is disconnected from Bree. No way. Jamie thinks about Bree and Claire. Again, the book. I know the book is not the shit, but the book is very, very stresses, Lord, save her and the child. Lord, keep her and the child. He says it every day. First when he gets up, last thing before he goes to bed. Lord, that she be safe. She and the child. You cannot.
And then it was like, what, the child? Oh yeah, the child.
Though I will fight you tooth and nail on that. That he's disconnected from her. No. I 100% would fight you on that. But what were you saying?
From the child, she meant, not from Claire, but from the child.
No. I mean from from the child.
But let's remember that Jamie sat in a cave for 7 years, was then in jail for how many years was he in Artsmere?
I don't know, 3, 4, whatever.
And then was an indentured servant for all those years.
That's what kept him going.
Has gone through so much stuff. To me, Bree and Claire are his picture in his watch when he's stranded on the island, like Tom Hanks.
Yes.
In Castaway.
Agreed.
In Castaway. And sure, I can see him once first he has the physical breakdown, which is the passing out. You know what I mean? Like the physical, it all just blah. And then he's up, and then it's pleasant conversation and haha the ale pod and haha and oh my God and let's kiss and oh my God. But it's not really, it's still like tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Then they get into the room when he sees the picture.
Right.
It's like the backwards of, I use this all the time. I used it last week. Christopher Reeve seeing the penny in Somewhere in Time. He's having pleasant conversation out of nowhere. All of a sudden, this picture is put in front of him with Bree's face on it. And 20 years of torment comes crashing down, and he loses it. That's what I needed to see. Didn't see it.
I mean, I think his argument was, well, you did see it, you just didn't see it like, you saw it like,
no, I don't.
But anyway.
All right, we got to move this on.
But I have one more thing to say because it's important, and it's going back to that pin in Teresa.
You are important.
I figured out how this could have been fixed, and like seriously, you guys, sometimes it keeps me up at night how easy this would have been to fix.
She's up at night.
I know, because it's right here. It's right here.
What is that? Oh yeah, it's the book.
It's right here in the source material. And you like sort of skimmed over it in the episode. This is one of those things that like I would have been like, if I was on the set, been like, I'm gonna write this on the fly because Sam doesn't, either Sam doesn't want to do it the other way. The fans are gonna be really pissed off. Here's how we're gonna help them. And actually, I think it works better than him going to pieces. Okay. So when he first sees the pictures, he's all discombobulated. He doesn't know what to think. Blah, blah, blah. So he's just like kind of like shell shocked. Okay. But then, later on, after, in the afterglow, in the book, and I'm sorry, because I need to, read this.
She's reading, you guys. She's got her glasses on. This is serious. We're seeing the top of her head and everything.
Oh my God. Is it gray? It probably is.
I don't think so. Do that again.
No, because I haven't colored it in a long time. Okay, wait. Okay. All right, so, it's post-game, so to speak. She says, I'll never leave you, not again, blah, 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 blah. I felt him shift again. I opened my eyes, find him turn on his side, absorbed in the side of my hand, blah, 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 blah. Then this happens. This is said. He says this. Draw her for me, he whispered, headband as he gently traced the shape of my fingers, long and ghostly beneath the drunkenness of his own touch. What has she of you, of me? Can you tell me? Are her hands like yours, Claire, or mine? Draw her for me. Let me see her. He laid his own hand down beside my own. Blah, blah, blah. Like mine, I said. My voice was low and hoarse with waking, hardly loud enough to register. Blah, 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 blah. She has long, slim hands like mine, but bigger than mine, broad across the backs, and a deep curve at the outside, near the wrist. Blah, 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 blah. Her nails are like yours, square. Blah, 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 blah. She has this line, your eyes exactly, and those lashes and brows, a Fraser nose, blah, 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 blah. And she has that small blue vein just there. His hand touched my own face, thumb tender in the hollow of my temple. And ears like tiny wings, Astronaut. She always complained about her ears. She said they stuck out. They're pierced. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, I love the pierce. I love the "you don't mind you." That was one of my favorites.
All right, you see where I'm going with this, right?
I loved when she asked him if he minded because he's her father. Oh my God.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
I get
detail.
he's freaked out, but now they're together.
Yeah,
they're together forever.
Yeah,
just like in High School Musical.
And he cares. He cares.
And at this point, he's ready, and he draw her for me. Fuck you guys.
I'm going to tell you right now, Willie. I mean, I don't want to take it away from him. He was very important to him. Very important to me. Love the character, but you know what? This was Brie. Yeah. This was Claire back from the dead.
Yeah.
And Brie.
Yeah.
Who's not Lord of mercy on her like faith in the ground, God bless her. It's Brie, a living, breathing daughter of his with Claire.
Right.
Not with some rich bitch, with Claire.
Right. And the thing with that is that, like, yes, in the show, I know that they did the whole, like, Claire says something like, you know, oh, like, I'll never see her again, I'm a terrible mother, and he says, like, you're a wonderful mother, which how would he know? He really wouldn't know that. Like,
I know, he said that, and I was like,
she'd be a sucky mother, and he would never know.
She makes a good cheese plate.
But yeah, that at that point, Jamie is like, draw her for me, tell me about my daughter. And he's ready to hear it. And had they done that, everything else would have been fine with me. I could have totally rationalized the way he was at the start for that payoff. And it didn't happen.
Instead, it was like she was telling him about her cousin who she spent the summer with.
Right.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, it was just
mentally. I'm like, well, maybe they'll do it, and then I just keep remembering, like, every time I think that, like, no, it's done. Like, they already did it. Like, how good would that have been?
I get that Sam was like, no, whatever. Well, what about the Norma? What did she have to say about the whole situation?
Well, I don't know. That's why we have to listen to the podcast to hear how that all went down. Because, like I said, like, you know this too. Like, actors on film sets, unless you're, you know, Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, I don't know. You know, you're the talent. The talent is what they call them. Bring in the talent now. You know? And that's kind of, you know, you don't, unless you are somebody who's yes, Sam and Kat are the stars of the show. Do they have enough pull to, like, make, you know, script changes? Maybe they do. I don't know. But, like, well, like I said, if they do, they should have producer credits.
The thing is that the directors are different on every show or every other show. You know, you don't have the same director. The bottom line is it's the director, because some directors are like, it's perfectly cast. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to say anything. I don't need to tell them what to do. They know the script. They know the character. And there's probably a lot of directors that come in and are like, hey, they've been doing this series for 3 seasons now. I'm not going to tell them. They know the character better than I do. I'm just here to, you know what I mean? So some directors aren't going to tell them, that's not the way you should be saying that, and that's not the way you should be doing that. And then there are other directors that are like, cut, what are you doing? You got to, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it just depends. It's not, it's, you know, there's
not moving with your thing, but whatever.
There are, what?
Your mouth was not moving with your,
Is it now?
More or less. It's all good.
There are, you know, again, yes, there's a little of everything. And I don't know what happened. I don't care what happened.
Right.
As the paying customer, I don't care what happened.
Right.
I didn't get what I wanted to see. I'm thrilled for people who didn't read the books and think it's great. But for somebody who is emotionally connected to these books, I was not happy, because that is such a moment in the series.
Right.
It's an important moment in the series, and whatever. And now it is so time to move on and do this week's. And let's kind of skim through a little here and there where we can to
You're
catch up.
You're driving the train.
I am driving the train. All right, you guys. Episode 3. Okay, episode 307. Well, at least sit in the front with me.
Okay.
Episode 307, Creme de Menthe. Okay, is the title of the episode. Directed by Norma Bailey, written by Karen Campbell. Love the whole the Scottish Campbell name.
I believe she's a new writer.
Campbell, she's got that whole Argyle thing happening in Brary Castle.
Yeah.
Okay, scene 1. Listen to me, scene 1. All right, in the first one, the scary dude from episode 306. Remember we had our little cliffhanger?
Oh, wait. Well, I did write down the Easter egg. Did you? Which was kind of cool.
Oh,
It was
yeah, it's on there. It's on there. Firemen. The Easter egg were firemen with the hoses and all of their 18th century equipment.
That was cool. That was very cool to see how they did that.
Very cool.
Because I remember thinking at the end, like, wow, look at them with the hoses. Like, I just thought they had buckets that they threw at it.
Yeah, me too. Like the assembly line.
Right.
Okay, so in the first scene, we open with this guy.
Scary bald dude.
Scary dude from last
come to life.
trying to assault Claire. And a fight ensues between the two of them. And he decides, I'm just going to go for broke and kill you, honey, because I don't like you. Because she's fighting back like an 18th century woman is not supposed to do.
Right.
So the two of them get into it. My man falls and cracks his head on the hearth. Now this is, it all goes downhill from here. Okay, so Jamie, Claire has a look of horror on her face. You know,
oh my God, what have I done? And also a look of horror on her hair too. Because
do you think that was her long hair that they took and flipped underneath, and it was just huge?
It was so bad. It was the worst bedhead ever in the history of bedheads. It was
like some kind of 1980s like Whitney Houston video. Lord of mercy.
You know what it was like? Okay, remember on Will and Grace when they would used to like flash back to like Will and Grace when they were in college?
AKA you and I.
Yeah.
When we were in college.
And like Grace had this hair that was like this. Oh my God. It
with
was
a big net bow.
Has this guy knew before me? No.
Yeah. So that's basically, I just turned it off. I had to just turn it off. I just couldn't pay attention. I just flipped a switch in my brain and didn't pay attention to her hair.
Okay.
Jamie walks in. See, gonna give Sam some kudos on this. And just quietly, I loved it. It wasn't like, oh my God.
Pieces?
He quietly just says, what the devil happened? I love the way he delivered that line. Just so calm, and yeah, I can't say what I have written after that. My reaction.
Well, you can, because that's what this whole point of this is.
Oh, unfortunately, there are children afoot.
Well, whisper it in your microphone.
No, I literally... Rude. Not even that. I wouldn't anyway. It's like obnoxious.
Oh, all right. Like you're not really say.
What's your reaction when, Jamie does something that's
Oh, no,
hot?
I thought you were talking about Claire. Oh, okay.
No. Okay. Claire's holding the knife, right? We all see her like doing this and can scarcely hand it back to Jamie because Jamie, I swear to God, for a minute there, I thought he was going to say, Claire, give me the knife. Hand over the knife. Give me the knife.
Claire has totally forgotten about all the murdering she has to do back in the past. Like, there's like, you gotta kill someone every day, Claire. What, did you forget that? Come on.
Don't get started. So she's totally freaked out. Not because the man who just tried to kill her is now dead, but because the man who just tried to kill her is now dead. And I have probably because so she's upset because, not because he's dead, but because she's a surgeon. And she has to help people. She's not supposed to kill people.
She's supposed to save them. She's not supposed to take lives. She's supposed to save lives.
So she realizes that he's breathing all of a sudden and decides she has to help him because I'm a doctor. And that's where I literally have all the shit goes downhill from here. Fergus comes in with the madam, knocks, me lord, they heard a ruckus downstairs.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
I don't know how they heard it over the sounds of what's happening downstairs. But we'll get to that later. We'll get back to that. Okay, so Claire's all indignant at this point. I have to try and save him, Jamie. You understand? Like, and
Okay,
if I were him,
so
I would have been
I'm
like...
guessing that you thought that this was a little bit ridiculous.
I thought this was completely ridiculous, obviously. I mean, you can tell by the way I'm saying it. The guy just tried to kill you. I guess, I was going to say, I don't recall her doing that. Let's take a hop, skip, and a jump back to season 1. You know what? I'm sitting here saying season 1, and really I'm thinking of the book. When they're like attacked, they're like
right.
on their phone and they're attacked.
Right.
She's like, there is no, I have to save him. I am a medical professional.
Well, and this was the worst part. Not only I have to save him, but I have to save him. Okay, here's what we're going to do, everyone. Everyone has their jobs. Okay, young Ian, I forget who she sent out. Who did she send out for, like, some sort of instruments? She sent somebody out for instruments.
I'm looking to see if I even wrote it down.
Either Fergus or young Ian or one of the
Well,
I don't know.
Fergus and the madam, and
Okay.
she's like,
So
you.
she sent somebody out
Go
for like
for
a
hot
drill because they're going to use him, or maybe Mr. Willoughby. I don't remember.
Now,
Then
okay.
she's like this. This was the best part. She's it's like she has to save him right away, Jamie. Except she has time to go to the apothecary for all this. She's going to need an autumn, and she's going to need this, and she's going to need that, and she's going to need that, and maybe she'll go, stop at the market and get some.
So the point is, I have written down holier than thou. She thinks that she is just above everybody in this room, and she has got to save him. And you go get that. You go get that. And everybody is supposed to sit here and just bow at her feet and be like, yes, Claire, the surgeon.
Well, and I love how Jamie's like, or we could just kill him.
Yeah, that idea. And then I'm like, you know what, honey? This is the 18th century. You are not home. You are a guest in a way. Like, this is the way they do things. Now, I'm not saying, yes, let everybody die before you and just continue on your merry way. The guy's a bad dude.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I could see keeping him alive to like get information out of him, which I think is how it happened in the book. But like, okay, whatever. Yes, I could see. I think in the book Fergus tried to get information. Whatever. I could see like, okay, can he talk, Claire? Can he talk? All right. Who are you working for? You tell me who you're working for now, or that might be a good reason to keep him alive.
Did someone show up because they hear me talking about rude Claire? He goes, I hate rude Claire.
I dedicated 11 years of my life.
Do that again. Just please. Just real quick.
I've dedicated 11 years of my life to saving people. You, get me a drill. You'll find it at the apothecary. You, get me a bowl. You, get me towels. Like, are you kidding? And Jimmy's like, let God take him. Right? Am I wrong? Let God take him.
He said the same thing. Tell him he said the same thing. Tell him he just said the same thing.
Wait, he can't. Oh, I'm sorry.
Orders.
And he couldn't hear you.
I know.
Say that again.
Now I'm repeating myself. Turn me off.
Why?
Because you have to translate. Because I'm hearing me through you. Just tell him we just said the exact same thing.
We just said the exact same thing. Yeah. She wants you to know.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
And
she said, hi, Tom.
And how about when he goes, as stubborn as always, he's thinking, I had a pretty good life here. I had the printing thing going on. I was doing the bootlegging at night. Yeah, I'm married to...
Okay, that was a spoiler. We're going to have to... That's okay. We'll have to...
Oh, that's not
that.
All right, start that again. Start that sentence again and don't say that.
No, just keep going. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And you're not there yet.
Yeah. So he's thinking what?
He's thinking, I had a pretty good thing going on here. I had the bootlegging thing at night. I had the print and press during the day. And now she comes back into my life, and all of a sudden, I'm running for bowls of water and drills at the apothecary. Like it's just shutting down. It's like when the factory just goes. Stop the presses, right? Well, stop the presses. That works, right? I got the cancer.
He's got the cancer. He's got to go. He's got the cancer. Could you hear all of that? Was he coming through on my microphone?
Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Tom! Woo!
Tracey just said, ladies and gentlemen, the return of Tom. Let me tell you, Tom, there are a lot of people out there who agree with you.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's tired. He's going to bed. Okay. So we find out that it is John Barton, the excise man, who works for Mr. Percival.
The tax man.
And he basically, Mr. Percival, Jamie has to explain who he is. He turns a blind eye to the sale of illegal liquor in exchange for turning a blind eye, in exchange for some of the profits.
Oh my God. Then that exposition went on for like 7,000 years.
And now they're selling away from Edinburgh, and they're not telling him and not giving him the payback, and he is not happy. They're not giving him part of the profits. So he is apparently a crooked agent of the crown. Okay. So yes, so they are basically explaining to you what is going on here. So we know, okay, this Percival dude, bad dude, kind of like a mobster, right? Mm-hmm. For the crown. This guy, he's basically his not his Tony Soprano, but his
heavy.
He's his James Gandolfini in True Romance. He's basically his heavy. He's his heavy. He's his hitman.
Well, it's Christopher. It's Christopher.
Christopher, right. He does his dirty work for Blue Foil. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Oh, and then he's got the one eye and
Fire happened yet?
and not yet. I'm getting it. They've seen it though. These guys have seen that part. So he's got the one eye and one-eyed Willie, I call him. Mm-hmm. John Barton. No, this John Barton. The other dude is the one eye. We haven't got to him yet. Okay. So the casks. Okay. So now we move on to the fact that the casks are in the basement.
Right.
And Madam is like, you need to get them out of here because these guys are going to come in here looking around, and this casks are in my basement, and they could shut me down. And they'll, it means both our necks. So, okay, that's what Claire's all, get this, get that. And I have, what a pain in the ass. She cares more about saving this than she does about Jamie's problems. Like, think about it. This has caused Jamie major problems to where Jamie's sitting here explaining that if they come here and find this out, I'm dead. They're going to kill me.
Well, now, but Claire didn't cause that problem, right?
Claire didn't cause that problem, but Jamie says if they go looking for this guy, if he's like missing and they're looking for him, they're going to come here. Right. And instead of being like she should be, which is, all right, what do we do? What do we do to help you?
Right,
let's get out
exactly.
Here. Let's get rid of this guy. If she doesn't want to kill him, fine, but you don't have to save him. Whatever. You know what I mean?
She's not acknowledging the problem that this is causing for Jamie. And I think Jamie explains it to her because if I recall from my first viewing, it takes like 5 minutes to like tell the whole ins and outs of what's going on. So she gets it. It's not like she doesn't get it, but she's still like, my Hippocratic oath is much more important than, any of your problems, Jamie. So shut up.
Yeah. I at this point, I'm right in this moment in time. I don't like to use the word hate. I'm kind of hating on her right now.
Yeah, it was just kind of ridiculous. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I love. I didn't pick this up in my first viewing, but I love how Jamie's like, yeah, whatever, do what you want. I got casks I have to save. Like, he basically is like, all right, whatever.
He's like, I got liquor that needs saving.
Yeah, quicker. My liquor is quick. So, she's not a team player at this point at all.
The one question I have when they're moving the casts around, so those two Artsmere dudes are back. Like the lackey dudes. Yeah. Are they going to be important? Do you think? Like, are they like our new Angus? Wait, let's discuss. Are they
like
our new
the
Angus and
team,
Rupert?
Rupert and Angus?
Are they the new Rupert and Angus, or, and this is my preference, are we Ian and Fergus the new Angus and Rupert?
I don't know. No, I don't know. A little of both. But the one guy of the two guys, not the guy with like frizzy hair, but the guy with the ponytail, He's got such a thick accent. He's got such a thick Scots accent. I love him. I love all of the ones who have an authentic Scots accent. We Ian from Paisley. Every time he says as well, I just want to just get on the plane and head to Paisley. I just love him to pieces. But we're going to get there. I'm jumping ahead of myself, and I don't want to do that either. Okay. So Ian asks about the print shop because he is concerned that Mr. Percival might find the casks.
So they've hidden the casks in the print shop. This part always confused me a little bit in the book too for some reason.
No. He might find casks, not the casks. Jamie explains that. Good night. Jamie, love you. Jamie explains that there are no casks there, and I have the other Scottish dude points out that there are pamphlets.
That's right.
Jamie says Percival hasn't found them up until this point, so it's fine.
Right.
Jamie is more concerned with the casks being sold and out of everyone's hair at this point. The casks from the basement.
Get rid of them. Just get rid of them.
Yes. Now he's basically saying, all right. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself again. I'm going to hold off on that. So Claire shows up at the herbal shop and rudely butts in line.
Oh my God!
The dude. She's like, that's not important right now.
That was the best.
Tracey, you guys, this is what I want to tell you. I think by now you kind of know my sister. But let me tell you, when you want to be with her, you want to be with my sister when someone butts in front of you in line. Because, oh, no, she does not take that well.
No, butting in front is not good. No. There's a queue for a reason. You get your place.
If Tracey was the one instead of Mr. Campbell.
I've had more obnoxious comments that I've made at Costco for this reason.
Well, I have to tell you, it's funny because I'm laying it on you, but that is the one thing. I am not good with confrontation, but you butt in front of me, I'm going to say something. Because and it's more like my OCD takes over, and I'm like, no, this is the line. I'm here, you're there. This doesn't work for me right now. You're messing up my brain. Right.
This is my dance space. This is your dance space.
Yes. Spaghetti arms. So I am going to say, like, no. So anyway, so she butts in, and we're all at this point like, oh,
that was so great. And it's like the first world crisis of like, step aside. I need this and I need that. There's a man in danger.
Yes. Oh, whatever. I'll come to your house and fix your sister.
There's a man who just tried to kill me in danger.
She's basically like, I'm Claire. I'm more important than you. So back away. and I love that she met her match because my man's like, oh, you're going to give it to me free? Okay. All right. You come to my house? Yeah. So then she goes out and she talks to the Campbells,
right?
Yes. And Archibald and Margaret. So she offers to go to their house and help Archibald take care of Margaret, his sister.
Right after she saves the guy who tried to kill her.
Yes. Who has brain issues. So next...
Traumatic brain injury.
Yes, exactly. So next we see wee Ian and Fergus. Well, she talks to the guy and tells him what she needs rudely because she's Claire. And it's like, get this. Then next we see wee Ian and Fergus taking advantage of this old Scottish geezer and selling him casks. And it's at this very moment. This was a very important moment for the series, not just this episode, not just this season. At this very moment, I'm like, yep. They are setting up the Ian Fergus situation.
Yep.
They are setting up the duo. And they
Angus
are the
and Rupert too, Electric Boogaloo.
Yep, they're setting up a dynamic duo that I am liking. This is fantastic.
Right.
I think this is why they're sort of ignoring the age difference. Because you guys, at this point, Fergus, if you remember, Fergus was like,
10, 11.
Oh, no. Older, 13, I'd say. Like when she left, He was
somewhere in the neighborhood of 10, 11, 12, 13.
And she's back. She's been gone 20 years. He's at least 30, if not older.
Yeah.
And Wee Ian is 16. So
no,
they're
Wee
kind
Ian,
of
no. Wee Ian is no 16. Wee Ian is like, I
Oh,
mean,
it's
how long did
lying.
Jamie live in the cave? 6 years, 7 years?
said he's 16.
Well, he said he's 16. I don't know that he. I mean, again, but the show is playing fast and loose with the time frame, much like Diana tends to do. Sometimes.
Yeah. Book to book. You never really know. You never know.
And she will be the first one to say, like, whatever. I don't know. He's getting
I don't have time to worry about how old he is. So I'm loving it. I am loving it like McDonald's.
And I think that is. I agree. I think that's why they've played around with the ages a little bit. That they are Rupert and Angus too, Electric Boogaloo, and I agree. I think that they're a good match.
So basically, they negotiate with this guy, and I want this. No, I'll pay this. I want this. I'll pay this, and they get the price. They sell the guy as much as they can, and they throw in 3 casks of Creme de Menthe.
Carol, do you often drink Creme de Menthe?
Never.
Creme de Menthe? Isn't that in? I have this distinct memory of like growing up in the 70s and our parents drinking grasshoppers. Remember that?
Oh my! Was that when they used to have parties in the basement with the orange bar?
Well, they were really like we had you guys.
We had a party for Dad. They had like a.
It's whatever it was. It was younger than we are now. So like, don't even go there. Like,
and somebody gave Dad a rock that was painted on a rock, turn me over, and you would turn it over and it said, that felt good. You guys, this was the big 70s party, so they might have been drinking grasshoppers. I don't really remember.
I do remember them drinking grasshoppers though. Yes.
Okay.
So that's like what I have. I have a lot of liquors downstairs in my house, and I don't have Creme de Menthe as far as I know.
I wouldn't even know what to do with it, but
hey,
I'll look into it. So basically, Ian asked Fergus about Claire, what she was like back in the day before she took off, before Culloden. And Fergus tells him about Claire and that she was a very strong woman and the rumors. He doesn't mention La Dame Blanche, but basically he alludes to the fact that there's rumors about her, that she may have had to kill a few people in her day. You know, when she was sane.
Yeah.
Before she became the head of some church. Yeah. So Ian says, well, if Auntie Claire killed people, she must have had a good reason. Whatever. So I don't really know why Ian thinks that, but okay. So back in Jamie's room, the dude is awake and he's yelling and they give him the laudanum. They shove it down his throat and Claire realizes that she has to drill into his skull.
Right. And that's where we get the gross moment of the starting for this season.
Okay. Yes, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like the stitching used to be.
Yeah.
So I love how Mr. Willoughby calls her most honorable wife. Because Mr. Willoughby is now around helping out too with this caper going on in Jamie's room with this dude. Now Mr. Percival is here in the brothel with with One-Eyed Willie. This one-eyed guy who's got like a weird, he's got like a white eye. You could tell something happened. It just makes him look scary. That's why they did it.
Now, does that mean he's only seeing half of the horrors and half of the
So he's only seeing
making
one
out of the like boinking going on around him?
He's only seeing one bouncing booby instead of 2 because he wants to know if Jamie is conducting business without telling him. That is why he is there, to check up on Jamie. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there are whores romping naked and bouncing around and moaning, and it's so obnoxious, I don't know what to do with myself.
You guys, I'm going to say this.
Awful.
So dumb. So, really? Let's go through the whole series and think about the whorehouses to which we have been. Okay? Shall we? There's the one that they got the wedding dress at. There's the one that they always went to with Prince Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
There is...
Mock-me!
I miss Mock-me.
Mock-me. Mock-me, James. Mock-me.
I know there's at least one other one. But, they were never, like I said, it's like, I feel like it's Littlefinger's brothel.
This
Like, it's so
funny.
gross.
This was
Like, I don't get it.
totally. I'll tell you if you don't get it. Let me explain it to you. This was the producer's way. Whoa, what is happening there? So I apologize. That was a little loud. This is the producer's way of getting your husbands and boyfriends to continue to watch with you. Okay, seriously. Like, that is exactly what that's all about. That is, let's throw in some sex to keep the men happy, because we know there are a lot of women who watch this show and they want to see Jamie, and they want to see Jamie and Claire and la 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 la, and we need to throw something in there to throw them a bone.
I mean, but like, shouldn't they be hot then? Because I don't know that any of these people having sex are particularly attractive. I'm
going to get a little detailed, okay? Let me tell you what bothered me. What bothered me was there's like some girl, she's in an alcove with this guy. They are having it is full on porn. And she's, and everybody's, I can't even pay attention to Jamie and what's happening.
I know, yes.
Which is extremely important because of all of this minutia, goofy minutia.
Sam, if you're watching, why didn't you shut that down?
Well, here's what I don't understand. Here we have a show with producers who are so concerned with the way they're presenting women and Claire and Jenny and all of these strong women and showing their strengths, which, again, Diana Gabaldon wrote them that way. But they are, these are impressive people, the production company, because they want to really give a shout out to women in this series. And then you're going to do that?
Right.
Like, right. And is that some kind of creepy way of being like, well, that was a profession, and these women, they were strong too. They were making their money doing what? No, I am sorry. Behind closed doors, there was no need for it. All it was a distraction that obviously annoyed us, because now we're sitting here talking about it. Right. It was complete and utter distraction from the events. And then as the episode is going on, everybody is in and out of this place like it's an office building, and there's just wild sex going on everywhere.
And the other thing too is, like, I mean, my understanding, it was like, if you worked at a brothel, it was a job. So, like, you were like, okay, next, that'll be $30, please.
All right.
Next. And they're all like, woohoo! And it's like, it is. It's like, what's that? I don't even know.
Okay.
Whatever. It's
Let me
ridiculous.
tell you something. My sister-in-law lives in what is rumored to be a brothel from I'm going to say like the 1840s or something. It was a stagecoach stop up outside of Rochester, New York. She's 1 million bedrooms. Okay. There is a house up the street from us that before it was built, there was another house that after they sold the house and before everything happened, the house was being like torn down, whatever. So we may have gone in because the house may have been open. A bunch of us, we were having a block party. And we had always been told that this house, the guy who owned the house back in like the 70s, it was like a brothel. Like, the guy used to have these wild parties. His wife would go away for the summer, and this guy would have these wild parties, and it was like a brothel. So we were like, we're going to look around. And we went into the house, and we went into like the living room, and there's literally an ice cream parlor in the living room. We were like, what the hell? And we're looking around, and we're like, I don't get it. You go upstairs, there's 3 bedrooms. Downstairs, there's a bedroom. Like, I'm not seeing this. And then somebody found the door. We go down the stairs into the basement, wall-to-wall carpeting, carpeted ceiling. There's a rounded hallway that's all carpeted.
Did it feel like you just entered Boogie Nights?
Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. And you're literally seeing like Davy Jones, like she hangs out. And you guys, what was it? It was a hallway, door, door. The guy was running, I don't know if you'd call it a brothel if he wasn't selling. The bottom line is this was like a brothel back in the day, in the 1970s. Why were there all these doors? Because there were all these rooms, aka bedrooms, where people were actually having okay? Right. So they weren't romping, or I am not naive. I get that there are places like this, right, but I'm telling you, one of them. In the 18th century, in this book, the one we're talking about was not like that.
Was this place so
You know what?
popular?
Now I'm waiting for Diana Gabaldon to tell me I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Was this place so popular that they ran out of rooms? Like that they had say a dozen rooms. Well, at any given time in the middle of the afternoon, you got 20 dudes out there. All the rooms are booked up. And, the extra girls, all right, you just take him over there to, the closet area. And you just take him over there to, that little alcove over. I mean, we've spent more time on this than it deserves.
And just because you're a hua, does not mean you're comfortable just letting it all hang out and doing it in front of everyone.
Right. Oh, so dumb.
So dumb.
Okay.
All right, so I will get back. I'll get back to where we are. Okay, so the one-eyed Willie is there with Mr. Percival. Is that where I was? Yeah. Okay. He wants to know if Jamie is conducting business without telling him, so he is on to Jamie. Jamie offers him, would you like to see the basement? Because he's obviously on to the fact that he thinks he's getting wise. He realizes that the madam is storing his alcohol for him. Right. So he's like, come on down. The madam's basically shitting herself, like, oh my God, did they get it all out? So they go downstairs, and luckily, wait a minute though, did they skip back? Because I have something else written down here. I'm gonna stick with what I wrote down, because I think they flash back and forth. Mm-hmm. Claire is upstairs. I have pulling the moth out of John Gum's throat.
See, it's really funny because I was in your cask store part. I was also thinking about Silence of the Lambs, because I was like, because you're saying he wants to go down in the basement. I was like, well, Clarice wanted to go down in the basement too, and look what happened to her.
Yeah, there you go. So, so she's basically working on getting that drill in there and drilling, drill, baby, drill.
I think there were some good sounds.
Yes. Oh God, I can't even.
Crunch.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's pulling stuff out of his head or putting the thing into his head, and it's pretty disgusting. Mr. P at this point, they're flashing back. They're going back and forth. Mm-hmm. Mr. P, from now on, Mr. Percival will be Mr. P. Mr. P thinks that there's brandy on the ground, but it turns out just to be water. Mm-hmm. Jamie shows up back upstairs in the room where Claire announces that the dude is dead. And Claire has a worse attitude than me when I have to drive to Philly and the kids made me late, so I can't stop for a latte. Claire is
pissed.
She's just attitude central. Like it's Jamie's fault. Right. She's like, well, he's dead, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? She's more upset. I'm like, this is going back to when Claire wanted Jamie to keep Blackjack Randall alive so Frank would be able to be born.
I forgot about that, but you're absolutely right. Wow.
She's showing the same emotion that she showed in that.
Right.
Only this is a guy who just tried to kill her that she's never met before in her life, and who's bad and who is going to hurt her husband, her 18th century husband. Right. Yet she's hell-bent on keeping him alive because she's a surgeon. So, obviously she's mad at herself. I liked this. There's a little bit of something brewing in Claire. Claire's not happy that he died on her watch. There's no blaming Joe Abernathy for this one. Sister girl killed him herself. She could not save him. And she's probably suffering a little PTSD because now...
That doesn't happen to Claire very often.
Well, now she can kind of take a breath. Now that he's dead and she doesn't have to save anyone for the next 5 minutes, she can stop and be like, wait a minute. oh my God, like you could tell it's all coming to a head. Like the
Right.
guy tried to attack her and she's upset and she's mad and she's taking it out on Jamie.
She's also mad that Jamie didn't go to pieces earlier, but okay.
Yes. And then she downright lectures Jamie. The tone of her voice made me sick. She lectures Jamie about how she heals people without judgment. And she works hard and doesn't often lose her patience. And I wish Joe Abernathy was here to see this and laugh at her like Eddie Murphy with an ice cream. Ice cream, I'm calling my ice cream, and you don't. And then I loved, he said, Sassenach, you traveled thousands of miles and 200 years to find me.
I know. Jamie...
Like,
too
just
good.
Awesome. And I have, oh my God, there's never been a man like this in real life. My man Jamie has a killer bot and whispers sweet nothings to Claire all the friggin' time. Damn.
But wait, when was the part where didn't he sort of give it back to her a little bit? Like, you know, you forgot what you were coming back to, or like something like that. Or am I
don't
making
know
that up?
because she, at one point, I was happy to see, kind of. Said, like, listen, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of right now, but she gave in and said, like, she just, like I said, it all came to a head and she stopped and realized, like, what am I doing? And said to him, like, I've brought you so much trouble, or what was her line? Like,
I don't know. I don't remember.
But it was at least thoughtful. At least, okay, now Claire's being thoughtful with Jamie and realizing, hey, I am a big fat thorn in your side right now because you have enough to deal with, and here I am.
Right.
So she then announces that she has to visit the Campbells, and Jamie wants to send Fergus with her. And she's like, no, this is something I have to do myself. And basically, I have written down, this is too soon for Claire to be having a hissy fit over anything. Like, she just got there. Actually, I have she just blanking got there. Mm-hmm. And she's got all this drama. And I'm like, don't you just want to be with him?
I know.
Like,
Don't you just want to hang out? Don't you just want to, like, you know, chat and hang out?
Oh, I don't think chat was quite on your mind right then. But don't you just want to, my God, it's Jamie.
I know.
Jamie,
I know.
You've dreamt of all these years. You slept in separate beds with Frank. You're with Jamie. And you want to go, like, saving this dude who tried to kill you, and now you're going to go to the Campbells and help Margaret? Like, what? I'm sorry. What?
No, I get it.
Okay.
I get it. All right.
So,
so we go to
she
Margaret?
announced that she's going, and he wants to send Fergus, blah, 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 blah. Fergus and Ian are now in the tavern. And Ian is eyeing up a tavern wench. Bridget, I think they said.
Oh, God, the tavern wench.
What's her name? Bridget. She
I don't
kind of...
know. All I know is she gave a really bad name to tavern wenches. Like, must every girl that works at a tavern be a slut? Like, come on.
Yeah, pretty much. But I loved how Fergus said, tonight is the night you do more than just look. And Fergus is giving Ian tips on wooing the ladies because he knows so much because he lost it at 15 in a menage a trois and says 2 menages and one I don't know what he said, one moi. One moi. And then he says, and then I said that the tavern wench, though, she kind of reminded me, and again, you're not going to get this because you haven't seen it. The tavern wench kind of gives me a less chaste version of Mel Gibson's bride in Braveheart. Which you will, of course, I already have a video lined up for that. I looked up the link and everything. So Claire is all forlorn and she's walking to the Campbell's house. Poor Margaret is high as a kite and talking about tree toads and looks like Shrek's girlfriend when she switches back from being Cameron Diaz.
Well, that explains a lot.
This poor girl, and I don't mean the actress looks like, I just mean they have her like all, if you look at her clothes, she really seriously, they've made her up to look like awful. And My man Archibald is drugging her daily with laudanum, and Claire warns him that it's not a daily.
Not a good idea, Archie.
Yeah, it's too potent. And then offers Claire, this is my favorite, he offers Claire info about what Margaret's saying for a price. Like, come over here and help me.
I will totally decipher my crazy sister's words.
Yes.
For a price.
Everything comes with a price. Come and do this after you booted me at the herbal store, after you so rudely kicked me out of my place and came to my house pro bono. Now, FOC, free of charge. Now I'm going to charge you to
listen to my sister's crazy talk.
Yes, for deciphering what my sister is saying, so you can figure it out. If she pays for it. That's the funniest line I've ever heard. Claire asks for writing. I swear to God, I think she said implements. Would that be, like, doesn't she mean instruments?
I
said,
think implements might work.
She said, well. Do you have any writing implements?
Here, wait. Let me open my dictionary app. Because I'm probably the only person that you.
Because I was like,
one.
does she mean instruments, or would that be the way of saying it back then? Implements.
No,
maybe
I think implement is like a tool or implement. No, that implant. Implement.
Well, as a noun, you would want to look it up. So anyway, I'm going to keep talking while you're doing that. Because who cares?
A tool, utensil, or other piece of equipment, especially as used for a particular purpose.
Done. I just learned something new. Thanks, guys. You taught me something new tonight. Okay, so Claire tells her to give her some tea with tansy oil and valerian. Is that correct? Archie wants to keep Margaret high so she won't touch people in the street.
Wait, she likes to touch people in the street? Why doesn't she work at the brothel?
Can you imagine Margaret at the brothel? I'm picturing Shrek's non-Cameron Diaz girlfriend. Okay. I do. Is it me, or do I look a little boob-rific in this sweater too?
I don't know, but all I know is we have to move it along because we are 1 hour and 15 in, and I think we're like a third of the way through.
I'm going to the brothel. Okay. So, So give her tea with tansy, all that. She wants to go. Claire wants to go see Margaret tomorrow. And then in parentheses I have, what the?
Let me think. Let's weigh these options, okay? All right. On this hand, we have James Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser, all 6'5", 200 pounds of Hong Kong born in love. That
greased up and ready to go.
Be nice to us, greased up and ready to go. And on this hand, we have
non-Cameron Diaz.
crazy ass Margaret and her weird predictions and bouncy fun.
What are you guys going to pick?
Tell us in the comments.
What are you guys going to pick? Because I know what I'm picking.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So she wants to go see her tomorrow, but they're going to the West Indies, so she can't. So Arch needs tonics because the pirates on the ship are going to think Margaret's a freak.
Right, and it's a long ride.
It's a real long ride.
He got to keep it drugged up.
Yeah, or she going to touch people. Okay. So, this is a side note. This is a squirrel moment for Carol. My 21st century ass is so grossed out that Claire keeps putting that dress back on and trekking around.
Well, here's the other thing too. I gotta think Jamie has a little bit of money, and I gotta think that there's like a dressmaker somewhere in Edinburgh. Like, how about getting her another dress?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess it would be
like
hard to
24
get at the brothel because nobody has any clothes there.
Yeah,
But
it's only been 24 hours, though. There hasn't been time to go get a dress, but there has been time to go to the apothecary, to take care of Margaret at the Campbell's house, to come back and save this dude, but
to
not
drill a
save this
hole in a
dude.
dead guy's skull.
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
Good point, though. Okay, so wee Ian and his tavern wench show up at Jamie's print shop, and wee Ian is singing, and I love him so much.
I do love him too. I think
Wee
he's great.
Ian is
I
that
think he's so
song.
great.
See, you guys, I'm really, really biased because I went to Scotland once in my life and I stayed in Paisley because Tom's cousins live in Paisley. I know, I tell you ad nauseum. And we are going back again this summer. Anybody from Paisley, did you know that Gerard Butler is from Paisley?
No.
Anybody from Paisley, when I hear that accent, oh my God, I just want to be there. So I miss Tom's cousins, you know what I mean? Like, so I just want to be there. We talk to them online and stuff, but it's not the same thing.
He's
so
great,
anyway,
though. He's just really great.
he is amazing. He sings. And when he's singing that song, I can't get enough. I'm like, oh my God, I want to be the tavern wench.
So here, I have to interject a question. So if Ian has been so interested in getting the job done, as we like to say, isn't it kind of like staying with Jamie right now?
Well, he's like crashing at the print shop, you mean?
No, I thought he was crashing at the brothel.
No. See, Jamie wouldn't take him to the brothel, just Claire. I think he crashes at the print shop.
Oh, okay.
That's why he brought the tavern wench back to the print shop.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, not that hard, Jamie. I mean, Ian.
Yeah. Well, and this is another thing. How many other people in this series are going to try to do it like sheep? Because he flips her around and she's like, I loved her reaction. She's like, what are you doing? Like, she's not like, oh my God, but she's like, what are you doing? And
maybe
of course,
it's just if you grow up on Lallybroch.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Maybe it's like this little like microcosm that's what you think when when you grow up on Lallybroch.
Yeah.
You're there's some sort of I don't know, some sort of mind meld that makes you think that that's how you do it.
That's sheep or how you do it. You do it like sheep. So I loved the conversation he had with the girl at this point because it's so authentically Scottish because every single line has I at the end of it. I thought you wanted to do it. I thought you blah, blah, blah. I don't. It's so totally Scott. So, then I go on and on about him being from Paisley and I love him. So, she says she'll show him. So Claire shows up and she's asking about the body. Jamie says not to worry. No one will find it because Scots don't drink Creme de Menthe.
Oh.
So now it's kind of like, where'd they put that money?
I think Mr. Scotsman that bought himself 3 free cases of Creme de Menthe is going to get a little surprise in his package.
Yeah. I guess they're figuring that he will never drink it, you know, and that it'll just be sitting around for years, but who knows? Okay. I did love that, though, because they sort of did that whole Scottish stereotype of being really frugal and wanting something for nothing. And, this guy's never going to turn down all this Creme de Menthe for free. So Claire asks if they can get their own place. I loved this. Claire, I'm down with her. Jamie, can we maybe get out of this brothel?
Well, Claire's used to having a house now, you know. Back when she was with Jamie the first time, she didn't really care about it. Now, you know, Frank has shown her, like, what it's like to have a home. And she's, like, kind of digging on it.
I bet you she's even learned how to light the gas stove at this point.
Too bad they don't have one anymore. Yeah,
she wants, like, a house, even though she won't have a gas stove. So, and I love Jamie's reaction because Jamie's like, well, I don't have a lot of money, and I have this and I that, and he's kind of looking like when she's telling him that she wants to, like, get a house and everything, and I love he's like kind of like, what, and leave all this? So Claire's asking about living in the print shop and opening a business and says they can make a happy life in Edinburgh. And Jamie looks borderline terrified at the whole conversation. So clearly there's something on Jamie's mind right now,
True.
but
There you go.
we don't know what it is. So someone knocks and says that Ian Murray is downstairs, which I had to laugh because I'm kind of like, well, so we've seen Ian Murray. They don't mean we, Ian.
They mean the real thing.
Papa Ian Murray. So Jamie and Claire's all, Ian, because she knows him from her Lallybroch days. So Claire and Jamie go downstairs, and there's Ian Murray looking really old and really gray. He looks like a gray-haired Tom Cruise, but really gray, which is odd since Jamie spent 20 years incarcerated in various forms and doesn't look a day older.
I think it's been Lallybroch and looks like a troll.
I don't understand this thought process at all, to the point where I screen captured pictures. Why is Ian Murray looking like an old man and he's the same age as Jamie?
I'm with you. It was a little odd to me. Yeah, it was a little odd to me.
Because aren't you kind of afraid that you're going to really accentuate the fact that Jamie doesn't look a day older and
It was a little odd because he even moved obviously he's never gonna move totally 100% normal because he doesn't have one leg, he's missing a leg, but he seemed to be have that almost Yoda-esque kind of
Stand up, you I will. Are you ready?
The boy has no patience. I cannot teach him.
kind of walk like this.
Where's my son? Jenny wants to know where he is.
I love the Yoda act.
Now,
You're so right.
And I gotta tell you this. This is what really bugged me with this. It didn't really bug me, but it was. I found it weird. I found the age that if young Ian really is 16, the way he says he is, and I'm not sure that that's true. Maybe we'll find out that he's a little younger. But if he is 16, is it just me, or wouldn't that be kind of considered an adult in back then? And why would Ian be coming all this way to find him? Unless they need to get the spring planting in, and they really need him to do it, and he's
Pull the plow.
yeah. Wouldn't he be considered an adult? And
Yeah. At one point, though, he did say Jenny's afraid that such and such got him. They're afraid that he's sitting and rotting in jail somewhere like Jamie did. Because of the way that I didn't figure this out, P.S., until tonight when I rewatched.
uh-huh.
She's afraid. You know the way they used to take Ian Senior away?
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Like
and he'd be
regular.
like, all right, I'll be back.
Once a
I'll be
quarter.
back. Yeah, I'll be back a week from Tuesday. Make sure you got a pot roast going for me. Yeah, that I think she's worried about is Ian getting in trouble and sitting in jail somewhere. That's the only thing I can think of. Because remember from the books, Ian's their wild child.
Right, but Ian was young. Ian was 14 in the books.
Yeah.
So you can understand why his dad is coming to get him, because he's a child.
Right.
Ian at 16 is not, whatever. I wondered about that, and then oh my God, that was the worst, I think, of all of the moments where all the sex was happening in the foyer, and I was just like, oh, this is awful. This is the most awful of all the moments.
God, you just made my point.
Yes, well.
I have written down, okay, so Ian is crying at this point. There is a tear because he sees Claire, and he's so happy to see Claire, but he's a little confused, and he's a little nervous for Jamie. There's so much emotion happening in Ian. He was amazing. So much emotion happening here because he's like, right. Oh God, I'm so happy, but oh my God, but Jamie, that's good. There's a tear running down his face. And you can hear someone stooping in the background. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That this is what we're listening to?
I mean,
what
again,
are you
if it's
doing?
Just hearing, but you saw the people. That's the thing. yes, it's a brothel. Yes, that's going to be going on. And I mean, yeah, they can, at this point, 2 episodes in, we're good with that. We know it's a brothel. Don't need to see any more of it. We got that. We got it under control. We're all good.
Right.
Yeah, it's the brothel stuff is just like, I don't want to belabor the point, but it's just so distracting and annoying.
And gross. Okay. So Ian is now bow chicka bow bow with the tavern wench when one-eyed gross out Willie shows up. And she's all, I heard something, and he's all, no, keep going. and next thing you know, he's there. So he tells her, like, get out, go out the back door. So one-eyed Willie finds seditious materials. And
does he do, I forget, does he do like kind of a Fonzie thing where he goes like, and the door like sort of opens?
Oh my God. Yes. Because he and Ian are sort of like rumbling around, and he sort of throws Ian into the door, into the wall, and all of a sudden, hey, what's in here? Yeah, I love that, the Fonzie moment. So he sees the door opens, and he sees the stuff on the shelves, and he's like, hey, seditious materials. So here's what I didn't get. He's like shoving them in his coat, like, oh, wait till they hear about this. Wait till Percival hears about this. And Ian just kind of yells, leave now. And I'm like, dude, Jamie's going to fry if you don't get over there and get those materials away from him. And then he whips out a gun and shoots, but it hits a lantern, and the fire, the oil and the fire starts. So it's fine. Fine. This is what Tom was talking about before. So it burns his good eye. So poor one-eyed Willie now, the fire, and he's like, ah! And he runs out. Which, how is he seeing where he's going?
I don't know.
And I'm just still distracted. But what about you? He's got Jamie's seditious materials. Like, he just took off, and he's got Jamie's materials. So that's bothering me. But whatever. I can't. I swear to God, this entire fire scene I can't really even pay attention to, because I'm like, but what about that? I'm like in Arthur. I'm like Susan Johnson in Arthur, and I'm like, what about Harold? So Arthur, Susan. So he runs out. And now it's like seriously, like a serious fire. So everything goes up in flames.
Right.
And then Jamie comes into his room, and Claire's already there waiting for him. And she's mad because he lied, which I have to be honest, I kind of was too. I was like, did he do this in the books? Because Jamie's so honorable that I was like, did he lie? Do you remember if he lied to Ian about Ian in the book?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Full on looked in his face.
Yes,
nope, I haven't seen him.
Yes, he did. Yes,
okay.
he did. Yes.
So Claire's mad, and he lied, and I couldn't remember if he did that in the book or not, but it just seemed to go against his principles. It's Jamie. What happened? But then you're like, see, this is the kind of stuff that in the book, I loved it so much, and I love it in the show, because I love that it's been 20 years, Claire. Like, he's not the same guy he was 20 years ago. Right. He's a hardened guy.
Right.
He's in there. And the softness is in there, but you're going to have to dig deep, and you're going to have to dig deep for a long time to get it to flourish again, because he is so damaged by everything he's been through. So, yeah, he's lying. Okay. So his heart is in the right place, but, I don't know. I agreed with being a parent. I'm like, oh, my God, I get it. Like, Claire's like, Jamie, whether you agree with Ian or not, he's looking for his son. Tell him, yes, he's been here, but he left, and I don't know where he is now. Tell Ian, look, I've tried to kick him out twice. He won't leave. Tell Ian all that stuff. So,
so the place is burning down.
No. There's more. I said I love that lie conversation that the two of them had, because he starts judging Claire's parenting. You're forgetting that the whole conversation.
I am forgetting this part.
They fight about Frank. And Jamie asks if she fell in love with anyone when she went back.
Right.
And if she fell in love with Frank again.
Right.
And she's like, no, I loved Frank, early on.
He was just
before
died.
you. She says, I loved Frank before you, but I never fell in love again after. That's a big moment. That's 20 years that look, he's had McNabb. He's had Geneva. I don't know. We don't know where else he's been in the last 5 years. So,
We know so far.
my man has gotten himself around a little bit, and Claire's been sleeping in the Flintstone beds.
Right.
So, that's a big moment that she's telling him, no, I never fell in love with anybody but you. I get it.
I mean, in her defense, he said that she asked him last week.
Yeah.
And
he didn't fall in love with anybody but her, but he's been, like I said, I don't think Claire's been around the block at all.
Right.
In the books, as we all know, she and Frank had a somewhat healthy bedroom relationship,
Right.
correct?
Right.
And then in real life, yeah. So in real life, what the hell? So they talk about that, and the angst is coming and coming. And at that point, you're sitting there like, oh, they're going to have makeup sex. They're going to have makeup sex. And that's, in walks, oh, wait, what do I have about? Oh, okay. So then in walks the madam, and she's all like, there's a fire at the print shop. So they run to the shop, and Jamie runs in to save Ian, and Claire's all...
So Mike Brady, like in the Very Brady Christmas, when his building is on fire, I totally thought that. Like, and he runs in, and they're all like... And then he like finally comes out, but it was total Mike Brady.
Or when Christian Grey got back from the crash. Okay. So, excuse me. So they run there, and Jamie runs in to save Ian, and she's pulling the whole thing they do in the movies and TV where she's like, oh, Jamie, and they're lightly holding her back, but not enough that she couldn't get through. Whatever. The dudes start putting the fire out, so the Easter egg comes to life. And Fergus and Mr. Willoughby are there, and they're holding her back. And Jamie finds Willie's picture and is holding it in his hands.
The Bree pictures, I'm sure, like burned to the ground, but
burnt
whatever.
Up. And he's like,
Hashtag
whatever.
Bree, haha.
Yeah. And he saves the picture, and my first feeling is like, oh God, like ugh. And then my second feeling is, oh, Willie, I'm sorry that I feel this way. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to go into any detail about that. But Jamie saves Ian, like we all knew he would, and carries him out, and the print shop is no more. Very sad. We see the sign lying on the ground.
That was so sad.
That sign hung there.
That was so sad.
That sign went to Comic-Con. That sign was everywhere. So it's very sad that the sign is, no longer there. So Claire then orders Jamie to drop Ian, to put him down. And
so that she can save him.
So she can save him, because that's what she does. And I'm sitting here thinking, I get that Edinburgh was kind of big, but wouldn't you think that like Ian Sr. would be staying around here somewhere and would come out during all the fire commotion?
Oh, he's not there yet?
There's no older Ian there, at least. Yeah, no, because he would have been involved. He would have been running in after Ian.
Right.
Isn't he staying locally?
I think he was there in the book, so maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Ian tells Jamie about One-Eyed Willie, and Jamie is nervous about treason and sedition.
Right.
Although he's been arrested 6 times.
But they've never proved anything. This is the pamphlet. Yeah. The pamphlet that's like, hi, the UK, Britain sucks. Like, blah, blah, blah. That's
all I could think of was Poldark. Okay, because Poldark gets arrested in every episode. I knew she wasn't listening.
I'm so far behind with Poldark. I'm so far behind with all my shows. Oh my God.
Tracey, you wait. It's so good. Okay. We really need to talk about that stuff next. Okay. So he's been arrested. Okay. So Claire is now full on lecturing Jamie. And it's disgusting to me the way she's speaking to him, scolding him like a child. Okay. Bothering me. Jamie sends Willoughby off to pay his debts and tells Fergus to look for One-Eyed Willie because One-Eyed Willie is countering all of the proof that Jamie's a big treason.
And unlike Claire, I'm sure the Fergus can take care of that little problem.
Yeah. Yes, he can. For me, Lord. And then here we go. You ready, Tracy? Strap in. Strap it in. Lock it down. So Jamie then tells Fergus to go find Ned Gowan.
Why?
Because, my God, all I can see is cursing. All I can see are curse words from what I read. So basically he says Claire's all, is Claire the reason that he said, all right, fine, like I'll take him? Yeah, Claire's like, he has to go home to his parents. And he's like, all right, fine, we'll take him to Lallybroch. And then he says to Fergus, I think, about how, don't worry, is far from Lallybroch. I almost said the wrong word there. Is far from Lallybroch, and don't worry about it. And he says to go get Ned Gowan, and Fergus is like, haven't you told her about your other wife? Tracy, I'm going to leave this up to you. Since you threw the book in the book while we were reading the books, you threw the book. I'm going to let you go ahead.
Well, first of all, we have to decide, do we put up a spoiler alert? Should we just end things for the regular show now and then go into spoiler mode? Or...
Yes, because that's it. Claire and Ian watch the shop burn. I'm so sad. Jamie made a life for himself and it's in pieces. I want that sign. I wonder if they'll auction it off near Neil's house.
Oh my God, you guys. So our friend Neil wait. Did Neil tell? No. You told me about the turn. So okay, they had an auction in Virginia for all turn stuff, right?
I was devastated that I couldn't get something.
Now they're having an auction for Mercy Street stuff.
Yeah, Mercy Street. Mm-hmm. And it's always in Richmond. I'm so mad.
All this shit. Okay.
So I said, I wonder if they'll ever auction off this sign someday, like they auction off all that stuff.
They must have a good sign and a bad sign, too.
Well, I don't know, but all I want to know is, can we bid on Seth Numerick when they have the turn? They already have it.
I want his tiny house. That's what I want. I'll bid on his tiny house. So that's it. Well, that's it, you guys. So that was the big secret. If you were watching carefully last week, you might have picked up on a couple of little, Jamie talking about, Fergus, I'm going to have to go talk to Ned Gowan about that little problem that might not even be a problem anymore because, now that Claire's back, maybe this other marriage is, null and void. And I think there were a couple moments last week where Claire was like, Jamie, do you have anything else you need to tell me? And he's like, no. So...
yeah.
Jamie has another wife.
And we're going to leave it there, you guys. We're going to go to spoiler mode. So everybody...
So we're gonna keep going for a minute because it's really late already.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about how this reveal... I mean, clearly this is a big reveal. Mm-hmm. It was done very differently in the books. And we're going to talk about how it was done very differently. So it's... kind of a spoiler if you're looking to read the books, whatever, but it's not. I don't know that we're going to reveal any plot points, so you can stick around if you want to. If you decide no, I'm not gonna, we will see you next week. Tell us what you think in the comments, and tell us if you were really surprised. It's so hard for me to know if this was surprising news and if people who've never read the books would predict it. And I have to also say that I think probably at some point this has been spoiled by the media because the media seems to market the show by assuming that everybody knows about the books and spoiling everything. They kept talking about the reunion. Well, if I'm not a book reader, I don't want to know about the reunion and how it's going to go down and the print shop and this and that. I don't know that.
Right. Agreed.
So... it could very well be that you already knew because it was spoiled by, some media outlet. But if you found this surprising, if you didn't call it, let us know in the comments. We're curious. Okay, so Otherwise, we're going to let Sheldon do his thing.
Excuse me! Spoiler alert!
Okay. We're in spoiler mode now. So, Carol, what did you think of this big reveal?
I was pissed, obviously, because I'm a book reader. You totally now, yeah, you can do, Daddy, who is that woman? But you can't, no one cares. We all know. We're all expecting it.
Well, clearly they're not doing it that way.
Yeah, but now you know he has a wife. You don't know there are kids involved.
Oh, that's the spoiler also, that we didn't say who the wife is.
True.
Hopefully
they haven't said
all
who
of
the
you
wife is.
just are kept. So we're not gonna. Yeah, well, we won't
Tracy,
say.
you put a spoiler alert.
I know, but a lot of people, even though they haven't read the books, they still come over to that side. But
well, hey, you put a spoiler alert, so we're talking about it.
All right.
So the thing is that I'm pissed. Look, that might have been the beauty of the book, was that you kind of, when you think about it, you kind of knew something wasn't right.
Right.
You kind of knew that, is it really this? What cracked me up was that the man was like living in a brothel, and that was actually on the up and up. He wasn't hooking up, but then come to find out he's got a wife. But it was just the beautiful way that it was done was so awesome. And now they can't really do that. I mean, they can do it, but you're expecting it, and that's not fun.
Right. I just thought in my head it was a little anticlimactic the way they did it, because they did it like Fergus and Jamie had the exact same conversation last week, and the only difference was that the words new, other wife or new wife or
right,
second wife or whatever they were
right,
never uttered. But essentially it was the same conversation. So
right,
it was literally, this was all, you could have missed it. It was so tossed out there with the rest of the garbage that if you weren't paying attention, could very well have missed it. You would have been like, what? Excuse me? Huh? What?
Right.
And if you are not a book reader, but you stuck with us,
that's what they wanted. That's what they want.
The reveal in the book is such a surprise. I mean, again, there's little teeny-weeny hints of things, that maybe something's not quite right. But, I got to this point when this was revealed in the books, and it's basically revealed by somebody walking in on Claire and Jamie as they're having sex and being to Jamie, Daddy, what's going on?
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that you find out not only that he's married, but that there are kids.
Right.
And you're so confused because this girl is 15 years old. I mean,
right.
And you're like, well, wait a minute though, because back then he was in jail or he was in the cave, and
right.
What? What?
Right.
What?
But it's just
so
it's so much more
confusing and awesome.
That reveal, I always tell the story. I threw my book across the room. I was like, God damn it, So
she was mad, you guys. We had an hour-long conversation. Remember, we had an hour-long conference call when that happened.
Okay. So I'm not flabbergasted and incensed about this the way I was with the Willie stuff last week. This, I'm just more it feels and maybe that was the point. It feels anticlimactic. It feels like you might have been you might have missed it. If you weren't listening, you would have missed it. And did they, I'm surprised that they chose to do the reveal in such a kind of, anticlimactic, I was going to say blasé, anticlimactic kind of way.
Right.
But
I think
they haven't revealed everything, so there's that.
Right. I'm reserving judgment because we haven't seen why they chose to do it this way yet.
Maybe they think that having Claire find out at the same time the audience finds out is just too much. Maybe they want the audience to know before Claire does, so that the anticipation now is not so much finding out he's married, But, oh my God, how's Claire going to react when she does find out?
Yeah, because it's all about Claire.
I mean, I could buy that. Like, I get that. That kind of
If
makes
it's
sense
not
to
about
me.
Claire,
It ain't there.
it ain't there.
So, yeah, but I really was like, I went like, what? Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse
What?
me? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Pardon me? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I know. I don't get it. I just...
So, I mean, like, that was, in essence, one could think that was a big, maybe this is what they were going for. We, the book readers, would never have been surprised by the big reveal. We would just be, like, wanting to know, like, how are they going to do the big reveal? Well, they got us, because they really surprised us. I wanted to throw the TV across the room. I
just can't wait to see the next episode. And I'm sitting here going, I must have seen no, we haven't seen like scenes or anything. We have no idea what's going to happen in the next episode.
No, that's true. We'll know when we actually watch the episode, but
I can't wait. All right, it's done.
All right.
Do we want to talk
about what? Do we want to talk
Can
about?
I say one thing
What?
About other shows?
We're at 149 right now.
Tracey, you have to watch. Number one, we're watching a show called, I think it's The Halcyon, which is a hotel. It's like they say it's like Downton Abbey in a hotel. Mm-hmm. You have the help, you have the wealthy people who own it, and then you have the help. And it's during the 40s when World War II is when things are just starting to really heat up in England. So it's very kind of Claire and Frank, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that era. Mm-hmm. It's really good. Number one. Number two, Versailles. Both of these shows are on Ovation Network. Versailles. Have you heard of this?
No.
Oh my God. You guys, it's the juiciest show. Look, we're all period piece fanatics. Watch Versailles. George Blagden, I love him to pieces. He was in Vikings, guys, for anybody who wants to know. And what's that movie that was 3 hours long that's from the Broadway show?
Our recap of episode 307?
Okay, clearly Tracey doesn't want to talk about any other shows right now. So never mind.
Versailles, it's good. The prince lived there. Claire did it with him there.
I'm telling you right now.
He couldn't poop there.
Look, I'm playing with my hair. It's time to go.
All right, you guys. That's it with 307. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let's give Carol a slow golf clap for her fabulous recap and notes and, like, sticking through the narrative. Because you might need to do it next week, too. Because, like I said, tech week of the play. Next week, it's not going to be good.
I've started watching them. Sometimes I wasn't watching them again. Now I watch them again. So it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of taking more notes. Right. You know what it's a matter of? It's a matter of bolding the new scenes is really all it is.
Right. Well, you did very good. So tell us what you think in the comments. And, did you like, I do want to say, did you like this episode? This was probably not one of my favorite episodes, but I like the Fergus and Ian stuff a lot. I like the Jamie and Claire stuff when they like sort of talk things out and whatnot. There was a lot of exposition. Claire was annoying as F. The brothel just so good, just okay. It was okay for me.
While I was watching it, I was really annoyed, and I was like, "This is so choppy," and they keep introducing these new characters, and I guess it's just look at the way they have to fit it all in.
Right. And again, this part of the book is a lot of exposition, a lot of getting from here to here.
Yeah, I would not want that job, so I am certainly not going to judge anybody. It's a tough thing to do, and it showed. It was very choppy, but it has to be. They
Plus,
have to get it in.
we had the highs of last week, and it's kind of tough to top that. So there you go.
I think I'm still waiting for more last week.
Well, we know it's coming up, and there's some good stuff coming up. So there you go. All right, tell us what you think in the comments. We are on the blog. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. Everywhere. Just let us know what you think. And have a great week. And I guess we will see you next week. Hopefully we will still have our sanity. Bye.